Top story tonight, Tybee Island's Orange Crush is just weeks away, and this year the city is taking a new approach. An organizer has been approved to lead a rebranded version of the event called Crush Reloaded. WSAV's Jillian Coles has more now on what's changing and how the city is preparing.
Tina, for years, Orange Crush has packed Tybee's shoreline, drawing thousands, but also bringing traffic, business disruptions, and public safety concerns. City leaders hope the rebrand will lead to a different outcome, but not everyone is convinced. On April 18th, crowds are expected to return to Tybee's shore. Tybee Island Mayor Brian West says organizer Stephen Smalls has been issued a conditional permit to lead the rebranded festival, Crush Reloaded.
He was who we contracted with last year as well. He and another partner. The other partner and he more or less split up last year, but he was the primary last year that knew how to set up the event and knew how to bring in the talent and knew how to do all those things that made the event successful.
West says the decision comes after the name Orange Crush was trademarked by the former partner Smalls split from. Next week, the city of Tybee will meet to discuss safety measures and hear specific plans from Smalls. But West tells me a comprehensive safety plan is already in place.
We have so many state agencies, local agencies, county agencies, engaged here for this event. That it's just really hard for somebody to come down here and get away with anything.
He says visitors should expect road closures and limited access, with neighborhoods restricted and parking near the pier closed. Additional parking on Butler Avenue will be available this year, but getting on and off the island won't be easy.
It's going to be difficult to get to the event, so if you want to come to it, please do, but just plan to maybe be disappointed that you don't make it here.
One small business on the island, Transcendent Treasures, remains open every year during the event, despite the crowds.
So for us, it's been a positive experience. We haven't had anything that was off-putting or made us uncomfortable in any way.
Managers at other bars and restaurants who didn't want to go on camera say they've closed in the past due to the large crowds and employees struggling because of traffic. They say they're still deciding what to do this year.
If our businesses are having to shut down during this event when there's so many people here and they could be doing so well, it's a real.
Mayor West says one of his biggest concerns is the beach itself, which is currently narrower than normal with high tide. He says it may limit how many people can fit in the event's permitted area. Jillian Coles, WSAV News 3, on your side.
Jillian, thank you. New tonight, a 20-year-old Atlanta man has been sentenced to 15 years in prison for the fatal shooting of a Bluffton man who had taken him in. Jeremiah McGee Ashton was found guilty today of voluntary manslaughter and possession of a weapon during the commission of a violent crime in the 2022 death of 57-year-old Mark Haynes. Police say the shooting happened on the evening of October 18th in 2022 at Buck Island Road residence. Prosecutors say Haynes showed charity by letting Ashton and his 16-year-old girlfriend stay in his home. But that trust ended in tragedy when Haynes asked the couple to leave. Evidence showed Haynes was shot twice in the chest and once in the leg. Ashton fled with a gun and the victim's belongings, eventually turning himself in days later. Ashton was sentenced to 15 years in prison. An arrest has been made in connection to a series of burglaries across northern Beaufort County. The Beaufort County Sheriff's Office says 27-year-old Dante Capers of Burton was taken into custody on March 25th. He is charged with 4 counts of first-degree burglary following an investigation into a string of break-ins between January 31st and February 2nd. Deputies say at least 9 homes were targeted from Ladies Island to St. Helena Island. Items reported stolen include liquor, power tools, firearms, and other valuables. Additional charges are expected. We have new details tonight. The man accused of shooting and killing a local father in a Target parking lot has officially been indicted. Tyler Lynn faces multiple charges in the January 4th death of Matthew Trawick. According to court documents, the incident began when Trawick's car was parked too close to Lynn's vehicle, and the two got into an argument. About an hour later, Trawick returned with his wife and children, briefly spoke with Lynn, and left. Minutes later, Trawick came back to the same spot. Savannah police say Lynn pulled out a firearm, claiming Trawick approached him aggressively. But officers noted Trawick was not close enough to strike Lynn when the shots were fired. Indicted Lynn on malice murder, felony murder, aggravated assault, 3 counts of possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony, and 2 counts of cruelty to children in the 3rd degree. He was released on bond, a strict house arrest, including an ankle monitor and no access to firearms. Savannah police are pushing back on Mayor Van Johnson's claim that most guns seized over the St. Patrick's Day holiday were in the hands of minors. The department says that number is inaccurate, and while they cannot confirm an exact figure, they warn minors have access to firearms their access to firearms remains a serious concern. WSAV's Isley Herschel spoke with Savannah police today. She has more now on what the city is doing to keep guns out of minors' hands.
Minors with guns is always a dangerous situation.
Sergeant Flynn says anyone under the age of 18 with a firearm has one illegally.
Whether it be a vehicle break-in, a burglary, or purchasing it from somebody off the street.
He says protection is the main reason minors would want to have access to a firearm.
They could be scared because if their friend is murdered or if they're in a gang, you just don't know.
Latoya Daniels is the program coordinator for the Savannah Impact Program, ran through SPD. It supports minors of all ages.
We get the kids that's after probation or is in the middle of going to court for mediation. So we try to reach those kids to get into programming, because without programming, then the risk for recidivism goes up.
Daniels says programs like Girl Connect and Young Men Stand have helped kids stay safe.
That's why we are here to find out what's going on so that the juvenile officers can reach out to the kids and the families so we can stop the flow of the guns.
Other programs in Savannah, like Park Place Outreach, provide similar services for at-risk youth.
We feel it's very important to help kids within our community to help promote positive change and steer healthy choices and development.
Sergeant Flynn wants to emphasize the importance of safe gun storage to parents.
If you have children, make sure that you ensure that they don't have your guns and they're not leaving the house with them.
That was Isley Herschel reporting on Tuesday. Mayor Van Johnson also emphasized gun violence among minors is an issue and tells us there are guns they shouldn't have. One Savannah resident says she's had enough of crashes near misses near her home. Leslie Walls says the curve near her home has been a problem for years, with cars hitting parked vehicles, running off the road, and creating a constant safety risk. The city tells WSAV the curve is part of an active traffic study being reviewed by the Traffic Calming Committee. Walls says the delays have left her frustrated and on edge.
I don't feel like this is my home. I don't feel comfortable in here. I would never, and I don't want and when my family comes to visit, we all know, get as close up as we can get. I don't know what to do now. There's nothing, I thought we were at least safe, but we're not.
The city of Savannah tells WSAV their focus remains on using data, moving with urgency, and implementing solutions to make this roadway safer for everyone. The full statement is on our website, WSAV.com.